Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, I apologize. We're using Restream, and when we use Restream, it gets a little bit sketchy because we insist on streaming at 6,000 kilobits, and Restream doesn't like that. They like us to stream at about half that, and the quality just sucks. So we're not going to do that. We're going to continue to stream where we're streaming, and we are back with. We are back right over here with Henry. We still got Henry. Go ahead and wave, dude. This is still going to be recorded. It's still going to go out. This is going to be done in two pieces, but there's a reason that we have you back. We can't help the technical thing, but Bell, we got to do something about this. Either we get Restream to function correctly, the reason that we're paying them money, or we have to find an alternative. So, Andrew, I don't suppose you want to build an alternative to Restream. Are you guys interested in
Maybe,
doing something like that? Huh?
maybe we'll see down maybe in like a phase 3 roadmap if that's in the cards.
Oh, sure, man. We'll see what we can do. All right. Anyway, let me ask you a very specific token, a question. Then we're going to go to a short break. We'll try to get some people on. Whatever questions we had, those are gone now. Sorry. They're going to
No,
have to
they're
be
not.
re-asked again. And X is gone. We're no longer going out on Twitter. Why are you guys launching a token? Now, this is a very, very specific question. Please think about this one before you answer. You are primarily a Web2 focused company right now that you're dipping your toes over into blockchain space. Web3. Why are you launching a token?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's a great question. Question that we thought about for a long time, actually. And for a while there, we saw no actual need to provide a more Web3 centric token, like traditional cryptocurrencies and IBC tokens that you see out there currently. The thing is, though, is we actually have two tokens already built. The work to earn protocol is a zone-centric token system, dual token reward model. So we've already kind of tokenized some of the utility of the Web2 zones when it comes to the human activity mining protocol, which is HAMP. That's a smart token built on Corium. And it allows the zone to kind of control their reward system on the interior of their zones, as well as do some governance stuff and provide rewards and incentives to employees. And then on the flip side, so that is much more of a Web 2 and zone centric. So that's something that a zone can white label. They can call it the whatever company it is, can have their own token for this specific purpose. And it's only generated in zones. And then LSX is our native pseudo-stable token for the zones ecosystem. So each HAMP token, each zone that's generating HAMP, they want to have an actual value in their HAMP system. So we've created a bonding pool mechanism where the two tokens feed into it and provide an APR based on the zone's allocated funds when they first onboard the zone. And there's a lot of kind of intricate details into that, like a minting cap, a dynamic minting cap per LSE tokens that we're injecting into this work to earn protocol. But yeah, so I guess to kind of answer the question as to why we need this third token, it's because these two interior zones centric interior tokens, they provide a lot of benefit and use case to Web 2. But they don't allow us to really get the full engagement of a decentralized ecosystem like the interchain. So we knew that this was on our roadmap going forward. We just didn't really prioritize the actual like all the fun stuff, all the engaging things that get communities excited about some of these projects. So we had I've always wanted to build on Archway. Just kind of getting pulled in a bunch of different directions, building a lot of things at once. We haven't really had the opportunity to really dive in, and really at the start of the year, we deployed LSX and HAMP on Corium's mainnet, but you can't go and really interact with them because Zones itself has to be deployed because you have to earn HAMP tokens in Zones to generate LSX and be able to interact with some of the effects that LSE provides for LSX. So It was really a thought of how can we boost the usability of LSX out in the open market as well as boosting it inside the zone. Because again, LSX is our zone's native pseudo-stable token. I don't know exactly what else to call it because it's supposed to fluctuate with the minting caps and generating HAMP. It's supposed to fluctuate anywhere from about 85 cents to $1.15. So that injecting LSE into that opens up a savvy arbitrage play for developers who use zones and have LSX. So there's a lot of different reasons why we thought that it was going to be a good endeavor for us to kind of round out our token economy. But I would say that the main one is to really get our feet firmly planted in Web3 like they've been firmly planted in Web2. We've successfully built the Web2 blockchain tooling. We feel wildly proud and happy about what we've built. We can't wait to launch it with zones. I use it on the back end all the time, and it's so fun. Such a cool and innovative new project with the work to earn protocol. But really to get that excitement from just everybody and to allow the work to earn protocol to have a little bit more interoperability outside of zones. That was really the big reason why it's like, okay, maybe now with Archway, we want to create a DApp system with IBC utilities. And it just kind of all seemed like an extremely cohesive mix. And then the other thing is with Corium smart tokens, they're great for what they're intended for, which is to allow user control. So when we were building the enterprise solutions, the main thing in our head was one, abstraction. Two was actually providing a safe and stable token that a company or an enterprise would feel comfortable putting some assets into and stepping their foot into blockchain. So we're extremely proud with what we've built, but now we just feel like it's time to round out that token economy and give it the full picture, really, because this is the full picture now.
Okay, as soon as you said you're injecting any form whatsoever of, and by the way, we do hostile interviews here on occasion. This isn't going to be one, but I'm not going to let you fully off the hook on this either. As soon as you mentioned stable token, it's funny that you mentioned that because over on Shade, are you familiar with Shade? I know you spend a lot of time over on Secret. Are you familiar with Shade?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So Shade just put out that their Silk model, which is a semi-stable token, and any way that they try to talk about it, it is simply not pegged, even close. It is a wildly variant token, and if you buy it for a price, you're going to sell it for less than what it is, and they're going to say that that's in your interest. I didn't bring up stable tokens. You brought up stable tokens. Why do you need one?
Well, so I'll tell you right now, kind of the difference there is LSX isn't necessarily like pegged to something on the open market that's traded on the open market. LSX is inherent to zones. So it's kind of pegged to the amount of USDC or Corium or Archway that is put up into the zone. It's pretty much mirrored on the backside with a pool of all of our different LSX bonding zone, because bonding is really the way with USDC that LSX has any value. So it's really kind of up to the zone to back their own LSX, and LSX isn't something that's just sold to exchanges either. So that's probably the big difference there. The reason why we wanted to do a stable coin is to ease adoption of enterprises. When you, I know when you talk to a lot of different people who are extremely busy running their business day to day, the last thing that they're thinking about is, oh, how can I integrate blockchain into my processes? And the reason they're not thinking about that is, one, because wallets are too complicated just for regular people to kind of just hold a bunch of different aggregated wallets and make sure you're logging in through different things. But the other thing is the safety and the volatility of a lot of their assets. They don't want to put company assets into something that's so readily volatile. They don't really know the backings of fiat. So they don't know how much they might be losing in their just general Wells Fargo bank account. But this is the way that we found best to onboard Web2 enterprises into a digital asset. And this is the thing that Patrick always loves to say, is a lot of these traditional enterprise users, they're used to this debt-based society, um, where they're just paying for access and they just throw money out the door to different third-party apps. But with implementing a kind of a stablecoin feature allows for different safe payment and interaction methods throughout the zone. So I call it a pseudo stablecoin, but that's just kind of because I haven't really seen a token like this before, because it's not traded on the open market. So it's not just a USDC pegged stablecoin, it's actually a zone pegged pseudo stable digital asset. So what Patrick says, the CEO, he always says, transitioning them from a debt-based system to an asset-based system. And I think that providing them at first with stablecoin functionality, or at least a stable-ish type of asset, is the way to get them over the hump to where they're not so scared about cryptocurrency.
Now, and I do understand all that. You guys have a lot of moving pieces to this. All right, so
Yes,
you're going to be launching a token on Outbid, is that correct?
yes, outbid,
Which
Astrovault's
which
new.
which specific token are you launching on Outbid? Because it sounds like you got a lot of things in play here. Which one can
Yes,
people purchase on Outbid?
yes, you can purchase the effector token, LSE. LS stands for Lunarspace. Lunarspace is LSX as well. But HAMP and LSX, those are in zones, remember. So you're not going to be able to purchase those on an open market or in a token sale. Um, the token that interacts throughout the ecosystem, throughout the interchain, that's the effector token. And we call it that because it's not your average or traditional utility token. While it is technically a utility token, it's actually an effector token. And my partner and I, we kind of coined this term as not a new standard to build smart contracts or utility tokens, but kind of a new way to think about how to apply them in application settings or with other protocols. So kind of the difference with that is the effector can do one effector token can do different things at the same at one time. So if you had 5 effector tokens, you could do 5 different things at the same time. So that's kind of a little bit of a new way to apply utility tokens to an ecosystem or to a protocol. So that's just kind of something that we've been excited about, just kind of calling it what it is. And we're very innovative driven over here. We want to try things that are kind of outside the box and push the envelope technologically and see what we can integrate into these Web2 platforms. So yeah, the token that you can go and buy on Outbid is the effector token, LSE. So yeah, it's going to be really fun with all the different utilities you can do within zones and outside of zones. So Scott, like you were saying, you wouldn't need zones because it's an enterprise system, which I totally understand. But I think that you're going to see some really cool use case for even a very small team with our D zones, which is a kind of light version of these larger enterprise and business centric zones. A lot of cool features going in there, and that's where LSE is going to be primarily utilized.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna stop you for just a second, Henry. I'm you and me, brother. We're kindred. Okay, once we start talking, man, we're gonna keep talking it out, but we
yep,
chase the lights a
yep,
little bit. I just want to make sure that you understand where we are as the podcast and as this team, as we are not product advocates. We are I can't say the word investor anymore. But the thing that concerns me more than anything else is, in this case, as far as our show goes, is the investor. What I'm going to ask you one very, very specific question. We're going to take a break and we'll get to the audience. What drives value to LSE? And if it is simply more people buying it than selling it, then we're sort of done here, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So that's probably the last thing. What you just said would be like the last utility, and that's the traditional thing that you're going to see any utility
It's
tokens.
crypto
Uh,
then, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I mean we do that, but the reason for building everything else, all the different utilities mixed into one protocol, is to kind of focus it on enhancing the zones ecosystem and enhancing the amount of LSX that's played with and swapped on the open market. And then as well as, and when I say swapped on the open market, I mean swap with LSE, with the LSE token. So LSE can go into the interchain. But I would just kind of say that the actual value driven behind the effector protocol is not only the relationships and our future plans with Archway and an educational platform, but also just the growth of zones. We are going to be incentivizing LSE in enterprises as well, so that enterprises can go and play with a lot of different tools in the ecosystem. So when we integrate things like Jackal and Akash and Kudos, I love Kudos by the way. But when we find ways to partnership with them and integrate with stuff like that, you're going to see a lot of different activity areas within zones, whether it's a Jackal interaction with the LSE token, or it's a LSE interaction with Kosh Compute. A lot of different stuff like that, and token pairings with Astrovault. So you know we're encompassing all the Web3 stuff that you would want to see in a effective token. But to really stand us apart, there's the whole other half where it's bridging the gap between our Web 2 migration tools and getting them into on-chain, into the on-chain ecosystem in a much more user-friendly approach. That's kind of what we have to do with enterprises: abstraction, user friendliness. So we're kind of taking it one step at a time with them, and this is a great way for the Web3 community to kind of get involved in what we're doing and accelerate our practices in building the Web2 ecosystem, the work to earn protocol, building that up. So it's really a cohesive approach between zones and between the interchain, and the effector protocol is what sits in between, thanks to Archway and Astrovault and Corium. So
And sir, I understand all that. I'm not trying to pin you down here. All right, I like the idea of what you're doing. I love the integrations. I love all that other stuff. I still haven't heard why you need the LSE token. So could you be specific? Why should I go to Outbid and purchase the LSE token? Please tell me that.
yeah, absolutely. So we have a few different things that you could do within the ecosystem. So one, the LSE token powers D zones. So in D zones, you can participate in arbitrage. Um, you can participate in Lunarspace governance and have a say on the overall zones ecosystem. Um, you can obviously boost your zone, boost your rewards within your zone, or you can participate in an LSE redemption pool. There's a lot that we can do with it, but we're kind of only rolling out with 4 key outbound utilities that don't have anything to do with zones. And I would just kind of say that to the reason why we need to roll out this effector token, and whether it's from an investment or a product offering, whether you want to look at it as something that's going to enhance our product or something that you can look at as something that's going to appreciate over time, like a traditional investment. I think that you'll see a lot of different benefits as zones itself grows. So as the ecosystem grows and as more people are utilizing the work to earn protocol, you're going to see a kind of a congruent growth to the effector protocol and vice versa. And the other thing, the real reason why I think that one, like say one investor might want to get involved, just a singular person, someone who doesn't have a zone, would be a shared revenue model. So 10% of what we earn here goes into a shared revenue pool. 8% goes to stakers, and 2% goes to governance. So I think that that's going to be something that's really exciting for the ecosystem to have a consistent and daily voice, and also potentially empower them to build something of their own. And if they have a D zone and they're utilizing the effector protocol, they're going to see how much better it would be utilized under within zones and with the work to earn protocol. So we're hoping that this acts as a catalyst and an accelerator to for smaller groups to kind of grow and start to utilize an operational system with organized communications and Jackal file sharing and compute from Akash. And it's a very developer friendly environment too. That's something that we're super excited to kind of partner with Archway on, because we want to provide this tool for developers to kind of get dual rewards from Archway incentives as well as from our backend work to earn protocol. And LSC kind of acts as the bridge between that too. So we're wildly excited about the effector protocol and the LSC token, but we're mostly excited about it because what it's going to do for us in the long term with the zones ecosystem. But for a regular investor like yourself, you can enjoy arbitrage if you're a savvy developer. You can do obviously the open market trading. We want to build stuff within zones that utilize LSE tokens. So whatever it might be, we have a lot of plans with facilitating builders. And then obviously shared revenue, I think, is a huge one because we are a Web2 business. And when you're talking about us onboarding an enterprise zone is a huge, I heard you talking about it in a video the other day. It's sometimes they can spend more money than you could ever even imagine on just a custom software. So adding rev share into the incentives for why someone would want to own LSE and hold on to it. I think that that's something that I'm excited to hold LSE for.
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about here for just a second, then we're going to go to break. Is your Web2 model driving money, cash, revenue to the LSE token? That's
yes.
what I want to, that's all I want to hear. Is the success or failure of your Web2 driven focused product driving value, meaning is money going from there over to the LSE token?
Yep, that is the key driver. So,
you know what? I'm going to cut you off, brother. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Guys, we're going to take a 60-second break. I'm sorry, our timing is all screwed up. I can't help Restream dropping us. If you could, please give us 60 seconds. We're coming back with your questions. I'm all done. We're going to come back with your questions, and we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. All right. This whole thing got screwed up. Our timing everything got jacked up. Questions, viewers, all that stuff got messed up. I apologize for that, guys. There's nothing we can do about it now. All we can do is soldier on. Belle, do we have any questions, comments, concerns, or observations?
We do actually have questions, and actually, because I was grabbing them as they came up, we did not lose all the questions from before the stream dropped. So,
You're such a smart lady.
so yeah, we're good. First question coming in from New Type. Does Lunarspace strive to be the Web3 version of Discord, Indeed, Salesforce, Microsoft Teams, or Slack?
Yeah, that's a great question. You said a bunch of different tools that we take inspiration from. So absolutely. I think that you could best equate us to Microsoft MSE, Microsoft Enterprise, Office 365 type of thing. So we have all of those toolings for day-to-day business, as well as a little bit of, you can think of us like Jira. And we do have the secure communications like Discord. So I guess, yeah, kind of, you can pretty much think of us as that same type of platform. But that's really just what you're going to see in a traditional CRM, which is customer relationship management or client relationship management software. So that's all things that you see Discord focus on what they do. You see Jira focus on the task management for development, and you see Salesforce focusing on sales. We definitely have aspects of all of that in ours, but something that kind of sets us apart is we provide integrations for and to those different Web 2 softwares. So that's when you can kind of think of us as a Web 2.5 business, because we integrate with existing best practices and tools that people like to use, and we are building new innovative stuff and also in-house tools that can kind of go into any different system. So yeah, absolutely, you can think of us as kind of a mix of Microsoft Office, Discord, Adobe Creative Cloud, and yeah, really anything else that's going to help you run your business or even your just daily tasks if you're an individual.
Fantastic. Carry on, Belle.
New Type, can you explain how Lunarspace's infrastructure and how they have decentralized their cloud servers? Like, are you guys completely free from AWS?
No. Okay, so that's why I call ourselves a hybrid DPIN, because while we do provide premise-based hardware with decentralized software and a mix of centralized software. So like I said in the previous answer, we provide integrations into existing Web 2 infrastructure like cloud, but we also provide integrations into maybe something a little bit better, which is coming with Jackal decentralized cloud. So no, we don't have, we're not breaking the chains of Web 2 centralization for these enterprises, but for Web 3 individuals with our D zones, yes, yeah, we are definitely doing that. But when it comes to zones and enterprise zones, no, we are Web 2.5. We utilize best practices in Web 2 and Web 3, and eventually our goal is to migrate off of that stuff: system sovereignty, data sovereignty, token sovereignty. That's the driving force for why we're doing what we're doing. We just have to take it one step at a time, really, with just scalability, security concerns. Web3 is such an ever-changing and dynamic ecosystem that bringing in Web2, we have to be pretty safe about it. And one of those things is a lot of that back-end infrastructure. Yeah, so Web 2.5, what you see is going to be a mix of both things, and it's pretty much customized per user too. So if you want a more decentralized environment, we can provide that. But if you don't care about that as much and you just want to have a safe and secure place to store your files, then we could get you on Azure or I forgot exactly what it said, maybe AWS. But yeah.
If you go with AWS over Jackal, you have not done your research, sir. And we need to talk. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to pivot the whole show here. Belle, carry on, please.
All right. So New Type, why exactly is LSX needed? Can't we just bridge USDC to Lunarspace?
Yeah, LSX, that's a great question. And I would say that LSX is needed only for the fact of the control of the user. So the zone can control different mechanisms in the smart contract. That's what's so cool about Corium. For the longest time, we were never going to build any tokens just because we didn't think there was a chain that could allow that type of control for the user, the holder. And then kind of Corium came out and contacted me and was like, hey, would you build your work turn? Because I wrote a few papers on it, on the possibilities. And they contacted me and said, we have smart tokens where you can control a lot of these features. So I was like, absolutely, yeah, let's build out our existing reward system that we've been using for 10, 12 years in the existing zones, and kind of give it an on-chain mechanism. So when it comes to using USDC, the zone and the dynamic protocol, we don't trust that. We want to put the trust back on the user, in a simple and seamless way. If they want to use USDC to onboard, they absolutely can. But the LSX is what is gaining and being safely secured in their own bonding pool. So each zone has their own bonding pool, and we can't do that with USDC and our back-end reward system, which is the human activity mining protocol, just Web2 APIs, oracles, all that stuff. So we had to really create our own custom ecosystem.
All right. Microman, it's really interesting to see projects building on top of the blockchain and making it simple for everyone to use. Makes me think of Windows building on DOS.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you get it. That's exactly where the inspiration comes.
You got to carry on, Mel.
All right, new type. So LSX is a derivative of the pooled assets on Lunarspace?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So LSX is a derivative of the pooled assets on Lunarspace?
Yeah, that's it's an interesting way to put it. I wouldn't go. It's a good question. I wouldn't phrase it that way. It's more of a decentralized treasury system. So rather than derivatives, you can think of it as a token-backed treasury by the zone. I haven't really thought of describing it as derivatives, but that kind of just sparked something in my mind. So I appreciate that question a lot.
Oh my God, are you going to change to tokenomics now?
No.
Is that how quick it happens?
Ideas. No, just more ideas. No changing of the tokenomics, especially with LSX. No way. With everything we've done for that, no.
Carry on, Bill. Welcome to the podcast, Henry.
I love it. Makes me think. It just sparked a light bulb for me where I'm like, interesting thought.
All right, Jack Sparrow, there is a lot to unpack here. I appreciate you coming on. If you plan to integrate your Web 2 products into Web 3, how does that grow your current business model, which I assume is the plan?
Yeah, absolutely. So integrating Web3 grows our internal business model because it helps us onboard a more evolved ecosystem for the Web2 users. So one, it puts us ahead in the market, really, in the Web2 CRM ERP market. Because when we integrate AI tools and blockchain tools with reward systems and a decentralized treasury with assets that take place of pay per seat for a system. This is the type of thing that really gets us as Lunarspace a step ahead of our competition, because we think of the Web 2 as our true competition. Web 3, we kind of come in and we can build on a bunch of different protocols and all work together. But in Web 2, we have to stand out from the pack because it's such a saturated operational workspace environment. It's so back. It's not good. It's bad. Like, if I'm just to be completely honest, most of the tools you're going to use on there are either not enough or too much. Either you don't use it the way that it's intended to, or you don't use it at all. A lot of people. And the thing is companies are paying lots and lots of money to host and to house these custom platforms. So us adding blockchain to the mix, it puts us a step ahead in the evolution of tech in enterprise and businesses. It gives the users more, I guess, sovereignty one step at a time. It gives them with a decentralized treasury that can kind of pay for. I always like to think because it's not something that's just going to balloon up, because it's based on using the system. So the treasury itself, it can kind of just be a secure and simple reward system. So I think that, and that's really probably 10% of all the different reasons why adding blockchain into a Web2 ecosystem like that is beneficial. The other stuff is security, decentralization, system sovereignty, and trustlessness. So allowing the users with more control over their data, over their retention, and over their analytical like KPMs. That stuff is owned and housed by zones. We don't get that. We don't see that stuff. We don't sell your data like the other ones do. That's not our business model. So our business model is in different areas, and utilizing blockchain was a way for us to kind of evolve that recurring cycle of debt that these companies are on. And I think that really sets us apart from any other digital workspace company that's building tools like zones.
All right, Bell, 1 second, Bell. Could you please make a note? Reach out to the Corium people, or have the Corium people reach out to us, because I happen to glance at the comments, and every other goddamn one seems to be Corium. Now, this is a crypto thing. It is what it is. I own this token, therefore this token is the best, and yeah. But it's all about the integrations. It's all about how that thing is being used, and it seems like Lunarspace is already partner. I'll ask you one simple question: are you guys using Corium? This is a yes or no answer. Henry,
Yes.
are you guys using Corium?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Bell, please reach out to them. We'll do a Corium specific show so that we can actually get into the integrations here. Bell, if you could, please carry on.
All right, new type. Will the functions of the LSE token only work on Arch? And if not, what is the purpose of deploying on Arch?
Yeah, okay, that's a great question. No, they won't only work on Arch. That'll be the main, obviously the mainnet for the token. But the reason for Arch is actually much bigger in our roadmap. I'm not going to get too deep into that yet, but I did hint at something a little bit earlier where I said educational zones. I don't know, a lot of people here might be following Corium. You might see what they're doing with their educational practices, going into different universities and teaching CosmWasm curriculum and IBC and smart tokens in Corium. Our platform fits that pocket really nicely for, maybe students can come in and start to use zones in their classrooms. So that's a potential possibility. And when you look at Archway's tech and their partnerships, it's unmatched when it comes to that. And we also have my partner Tenderman Timmy. He created Interchain Info and Spark IBC, which is an IBC educational platform. Does crazy volume interchain info. So I don't want to give too much more into that. You can look at Area 52 is a really good educational tool. So yeah, when it comes to Archway, they have a roadmap that is very, very similar to ours, and as well as Astrovault too. I love Astrovault's decks. When Outbid came out, I was like, these guys are just as creative as it gets, really. The tokenomics for Archway, for Astrovault, beautiful. And then seeing Outbid be so fun and engaging and such a great way to do a token raise. It just all fell in perfectly. And I've always wanted to build dApps on Archway. And their focus is dApp chain utility. And we are enterprise grade utility and we build dApps. So solidifying that partnership early with this token, and I don't want to say reliance, because Lunarspace is a hybrid. We don't need to really rely on any Web3 or blockchain tools. But when it comes to relying on our Web3 practices, I couldn't see a better team in IBC that would line up with our 5-10 year roadmap. So
Did you just plug Tendermint Timmy on my show? Did you just do that?
I,
Because you
of course I
did.
did.
Yes, you
And I'll
did.
do it again.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you go
I'll
on
do it again.
Tendermint, when you go on Timmy's show, are you going to plug the podcast?
Yes,
Is that gonna be
absolutely.
good enough? All right, man. Look, we're kind of all over the board here. Bella, we're going long. Sorry, we had a break in the show. Things happen. Henry chases the lights the same way I do. We're going long. Belle, please carry on.
All right, Mad Scientist with a rather long comment. One thing I like about this show is Bella doesn't coach the people up before the show.
No.
Henry was a deer in headlights on utility question, comes back from break, and now the project is a Swiss Army knife.
Well, the project has always been a Swiss Army knife. You'll see in some of the things that I put out there in the next few days, the just different directions and the complexity of all of this. A lot of the times, I really need to. There are so many moving parts to this when it comes to Web 2 and Web 3 bridging this stuff. When I get on these shows, I need to really articulate what I'm saying. And yeah, Bella does a great job not coaching. Not telling me anything. So no, it was great.
Carry on,
Yeah,
Bill.
I refuse. Okay, Jack Sparrow, will Outbid be the primary funding source, or do you have VCs or some other funding?
Now, Henry, before you answer this question, sir, you be very, very careful with it because you understand who our audience is, what they are, what they do, what they are about. Please, sir, answer.
Yeah, we are fully bootstrapped. The only funding we've ever received from somebody was the grant from Corium to build the work turn protocol. So we finished that from July to December. But that is the only funding we've ever received from anybody. Every ounce of our blood, sweat, and tears has been put into this project for the past, Patrick, 12 years, myself, 7, blockchain, 3 or 4 years. All of it never had any funding, never had any overlord trying to kind of tell us what to do or get their input onto something that we put out there. Yeah, so we're extremely happy about that. I don't know how your audience might feel about something like that, but we love that situation that we're in. It gives us so much freedom to innovate and try things out, right? Because that's where like blockchain is exciting for me, is I get to try things out rather than stick to these rigid methods that have just been so widely adopted in Web 2. This is the time for us to evolve and to create something new.
All right. Carry on, Belle.
All right. And actually, you want to know what our audience thinks? Jack Sparrow actually commented, okay, good. No overlords.
Yeah, you better not, brother, because if you're going to get my money in here, I'm not answering to somebody that I've never met. And I'm not exactly a whale, but for you guys, I will be. So me and you are gonna have to make sure that we come to the right accord. Carry on, Belle.
All right. Yep.
Let me add one thought to that. So the reason why I love blockchain in the first place is because we give that ownership back to our users, back to the people. Rather than looking at a corporate overlord or a seed in whatever they might be, someone giving us money and telling us what to do. We would much rather have our clients tell us what to do with zones and have the community tell us what to do with the effector protocol. That's it. Because if our users don't like it and our community doesn't like it, I don't want seed investment to build something that people don't like. I don't want that. So I'm excited to bootstrap it. We love doing that. And we're going to really focus on the community. We hope that you guys have the governance say over what's going on in the ecosystem. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be fun, dude. Are you? Let me ask you this, dude. Henry, are you ready to have me? Are you ready to have me as a partner? Because I'll tell you flat out, brother, I am intolerable to work with. The only thing I care about. Sorry, man. It's one thing to leave the world a better place, and of course I'm all about that. But the thing that I care about right now is profitability. Profitability. I want the token higher tomorrow than it was today, and the reason that I want it higher is because you've made a product that people are paying to use.
Yes.
Are
Yep.
you comfortable? Because as soon as you go on Outbid, brother, you just opened the door. You invited me in, and you're not the first person to do it, man. So are you
Dude,
cool? Are you cool with it?
we're beyond ready for it, man. We've been dealing with Web 2 lawyers, paralegals, healthcare providers, doctors. I am in a refreshed place working with Web3 people in the community, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, you are. All right, carry on, Bill. Come on.
All right, mad scientist, are you guys lock and key with kudos?
Not quite yet. Not at a network architecture level, but there are a lot of things. That was actually, funnily enough, I've always been a utility maxi. So when I first got into the Cosmos Hub, that was, I think, either the first or second token I bought. It was either Kudos or Secret, but it was those two. So yeah, I love Kudos, and we're definitely keeping our eye on them. But we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. At the moment.
Let's talk about that bridge for a second here, man. You guys are going to need infrastructure. Are you going to primarily be decentralized infrastructure, or are you going to go with Amazon Web Services, man? Please give me an answer. Sorry, dude. I know. I see the scowl. Everybody just saw it, man. All right. Which way are you guys going?
I don't want to be on Amazon Web Services. I don't want to be on Microsoft Azure. I don't want to be doing SQL querying. I'd rather be doing decentralized SQL space and time, and decentralized compute with Akash, decentralized storage with Jackal. All these different new protocols that are providing these different use cases. Zones is the place for them to live and for them to be used in the real world. You guys talk about real world assets all the time. This is real world utility.
No, we don't talk about real world assets. DPIN is a real world asset. It's called servers. It's called blinking lights. It's called infrastructure. I've worked in this industry for 30 fucking years. If anybody can speak intelligently on this, I'd like to think it's me. What is it going to take to get you guys to get Lunarspace off from AWS and on to decentralized infrastructure? You understand how important this is to actually have a fully functioning Web 2 legacy world-facing product that's using decentralized infrastructure. What will it take to get you guys from point A to point B? Please answer that question. It's a good question.
Yeah,
I know.
It's a great question.
I know it is.
Let me think about how I want to say it.
All right, if you want to look, dude, I'll give you an out right now, man. If you want to table this till next show.
No, I got it.
Okay, serve it up.
I personally, as I've said a few times now, we're Web 2.5. We build the tools that help our clients, and we are client-centric. We have a dual model where we're Web 2, Web 3. So we're on the Web 2 side, we're client-centric. Whatever's going to help our clients, we're going to do. But with Web 3, yeah, we're getting off AWS and Azure and all that centralized overlord stuff. We're definitely on that road. What needs to happen for us to fully decentralize is a mountain, first of all, needs to be climbed. Okay. And it has to be a joint effort. Lunarspace can't tackle all of that alone. Creating this ecosystem, this Adobe Cloud type of Adobe Creative Cloud type of ecosystem, it is there's a reason why you don't see Discord creating CRMs. You got to stay in the pocket a little bit. So this is why I love IBC, is because there are projects out there like Jackal, like Akash, like Kudos that are creating the utilities that we need. And once open source and with validation and relaying, this ecosystem, these tools are here to stay. So I like to put it on our partnerships and on the greater interchain to provide me the reason to give it to my clients. Because if my clients don't want to use it, then I'm not going to put it in the software. So I have to throw that back on the other protocols out there.
Okay. No, that's fine, brother. So you're saying you just need to get into a room with Kudos. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Because I put out one little tweeter, and I got a hunch your email is going to show up. I'm not a huge deal as far as influencer goes,
You are
but
to me.
I have a lot of money, and a lot of money tends to get things done. I'm more
Yes.
than happy to climb behind this, man, but you've got to use DPIN. That's it. That's kind
Yep.
of where I'm at here. So you guys just need to get into a room with Kudos. You just need to get into a room with Jackal. I assume you've already been in a room with Jackal. If you haven't,
Yeah,
can
Jackal. Yeah.
no. Go ahead and answer
Kudos.
it, man.
Yeah, I love the guys over at Jackal. They were excited to start up kind of a value-added reseller relationship with the Jackal team, where they sell zones, we sell Jackal Outpost storage, and vice versa. So we're going to be a key strategic partner on the Web 2 side. Um,
That's perfect, man. So anybody out here who happens to have any kind of interest in Kudos, meaning that you own the token, let's blow up Twitter. Let's get these guys in a room. That's what we do here at the podcast is
Yep,
we
yep.
merge people together. But if you happen to need decentralized infrastructure, I know they provide decentralized infrastructure. Let's make that happen so that everybody gets a piece of your success. Bell, if you could please, you notice how I cut it off right there. Bell, please carry on. Almost like I Almost like we've been doing this for a long time. Carry on, Bill.
Articulate. Happy to be partners with Lunarspace. Shout out to the entire Corium community DAO family.
That's my man. Thanks for coming, Articulate. Appreciate you being here, brother.
Mad scientist, what is price of this token?
Nothing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Nothing right now, right? Exactly. But let me table that one. I think tomorrow you're gonna see some stuff come out that's really gonna tell you that stuff. Although I wrote it in a blog. I write so much stuff.
In defense of Henry, guys, we do not talk about price here. We do not talk about price discovery. We don't talk about prices of crypto here because the prices of crypto are so insanely volatile that anything you hear today is going to be different tomorrow.
Very true.
It has nothing to do with this. What we are looking at here specifically is the opportunity of what this token may or may not do based on their Web 2 facing product. Bell, please carry on.
And we did fully build out our tokenomic structure and did a few different fault tests on different prices. We were discovering whether or not, and it's kind of a psychological thing when you're building a token, whether or not you want to go with a blue chip, something a little bit lower, or maybe something a little bit higher in price. So I think that we came out with the perfect tokenomic structure. And I'm excited to really share that stuff with you guys, but we don't need to go into price discovery, but you can think of it as something that's much more accessible than, say, Bitcoin Gold or something like that.
No, we don't give a shit about that. Carry on, Bill.
Robbie Smith, how many people are on your team?
Woo!
That's a great question. It's ever changing, right? We are all kind of jack of all trades and different things. So consistently, we have 4 total leadership team, and then we have a few development interns. We have a in-house blockchain developer and an out-of-house blockchain consultancy group. So I guess the 4 key players are Patrick and his brother Eric. They've been in business for a long time together, CEO and CFO.
I got another Eric.
Right.
Yeah, I know, right? So many Erics out there. And then it's me and Timmy are kind of the evolutionary people bringing new tech into the system. And then we have our full stack senior dev, Steve, who's been working with Patrick for like 15 years. We have our CIO, Matt, the same, about 15 years working with him. So I think 6 is the number of solid, but day to day, the people I talk to every day, it's about 4 of us. So
carry on, Bill.
All right. That was actually the last question for the moment.
Fantastic. Henry, don't go anywhere, brother.
Smart audience, man. Smart audience.
You have no idea, man, how much money this particular audience happens to have. I'm not the spokesman for them in any way, man. Everybody out here is free to make their own decision based on...
Well, I can tell they're all such good questions, really. A few questions that really made me think. So yeah, it's a smart audience.
Yeah, because next thing you know, we're gonna see an LSE X, and LSE or LSE hasn't even launched yet, man.
Yeah,
We're gonna have you back, Henry. Look, man, we got too much more that we have to get to on this particular one. I know Bell's already got you guys on the schedule, but we'll probably bring him back. I don't know, Bell, if we have to bounce him, but you know what? You do you, bro. You handle it, Bell. By the way,
I've already got a spot for Henry on the schedule.
and
He'll be
I gotta tell you, Scott, you are going to love Patrick. I don't know if you've ever talked to him before.
not yet.
Yeah. Oh man, you guys are gonna talk for 4 or 5 hours straight. I'm not even kidding.
No,
Like,
I assure you we're going to talk for about an hour or an hour and 20 minutes, and we're just going to have to compress it. My
good
job
luck.
my job is to get information out of people, man. That's all I do, dude. I'm not a product advocate. I am, and everybody else that's out here in this audience that is putting up their money, that is putting up their blood, their sweat, their tears, everything, believing in every single thing that you say. That's my audience, man, and that
Yeah,
is who I advocate for. As much as I want you guys to be wildly successful, and I sure hope you are, I want everybody that's watching the stream right now to be wildly successful
absolutely.
based on your efforts, man. It's called capital investment. It is what it is. I wish it was different, but it isn't, man. So what we need is for you guys to be very, very profitable. And anything
Yeah,
that we
and
can do, anything that we can do to make that happen is certainly going to help it out. Henry,
well, yeah, participate in Outbid. That's all I can say for now. Is go get drop camp. Go participate in drop camp first. I think Astrovault might be doing some stuff pretty soon on that, and then us. So yeah,
Are you
be on
guys
the
gonna
lookout.
airdrop the token as well? No, this is important, man. And think about this for a second. Are you guys gonna airdrop this token? Meaning, after all of my people, all of my audience, all of the people that I've been advocating for years and years and years, are gonna pour out cash for LSE. Are you guys gonna airdrop it? And I'm sorry to put you on the spot, brother, but you're the one who said airdrop. So are you going
No,
to
did I
drop
say
this
airdrop?
token for free to people who didn't fucking pay for it? Be
Did
careful
I say
here.
airdrop?
No,
I
but
said
you
drop camp.
but as soon as you said drop camp is an airdrop featured an airdrop focused element. Are you guys going to
Focus.
airdrop this?
Airdrop focus, not centric.
No.
Uh,
Focused, yes.
um,
Sorry, dude, you the one who said it. You're going to
no, I'm
airdrop.
just
Just say it, man. Look, we all know. All right, go ahead and say it. Yes, we're going to
no,
airdrop some of this token.
actually, we are kind of personally going back and forth on it. This is why I love these types of conversations. I want to hear
Yeah.
what the community would rather see out of something like this. Because remember, the other thing is LSX and what we've currently created in the Web 2 migration tool, which is the Zones ecosystem and token economy. That's never airdropped. That's never really engageable in the open market. So when we're rolling out LSC, we want it to be community centric, but we don't want to just give tokens out to people who aren't buying the token like the rest of our clients do with LSX. We don't want to give anyone it has to be fair play between the two ecosystems. That's pretty much what I'm saying. So we're playing around with the ideas, but I would have to say that I'm not going to give any distinct answers. We got a lot of time until outbid, and actually I think I can.
But do we have a lot of time? Aren't you guys like going on outbid on May 1st? That's not a lot of time, dude.
Oh man, you gonna
Sorry.
drop the date like that?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Yes. I was literally just like, should I say the date or should I not?
I got you, dude. I'm way ahead of you, brother.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's not your fault now.
And speaking of the topic of airdrops, Eric from Astrovault running in with a suggestion. Could you do a bigger airdrop for people who use Outbid?
I think that might be a little bit of alpha right there that you just heard from a key partner in our development.
Yeah, man. But I wasn't the one who said it, so I'm cool on this.
No?
I don't think you quite. Let me take just a second here, Henry. Please stand by. I got you flustered a little bit, brother. That's my job.
No,
right?
not flustered. Just do I say a distinct answer now? or do I
Not
maybe
table it here, man.
consult with my
let me
smart team?
let me back you out of this. There's something very, very special that's happening over there in Astrovault. Now, most of the people, most of the cosmos don't quite understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, or how they're doing it. They don't know, they don't care, man. Look, the crypto mentality is token go up, token good, period. Period. That's it. That's why people are still buying silk, even though they literally came out and said, we have no peg whatsoever. We are screwed. And the only thing that's really going to save us is a big cash infusion from the Atom Accelerator DAO. Sorry, Carter. I wasn't the one who did it, man. You built the system. I merely gamed the system, man. You set it up. I'm going to take advantage of it, as I'm going to do on any other system that goes up. There's a reason that we ask very, very hard questions here on the podcast, man, because we are advocating for the people who are putting up their money, their effort, their blood, their sweat, their tears. So I'm going to get the answer. Period.
So
that's it. Go ahead. You want to trump me on my own show, man? Go ahead.
No. So you said that if you get a system, you get a protocol, you get a platform, you're gonna try to see how you can game the system. I love that, by the way. That's a true capitalist.
That's crypto, baby.
Love it. I can't wait for you to try to game the human activity mining protocol, because I haven't really gotten into that. But it's pretty much a custom reward mechanism that you input what is valuable to you in the system. And we have a lot of different guardrails for it. So the key thing was like, well, people are going to game this system. So I'm excited to see people who love to do that stuff. I'm excited to see you guys try and beat it up. Really.
Are you really excited to see me try to attack your system and game it? Are you sure that that's where you want to end that conversation right there? Many people have said it before, dude. Many people have said, no, you can't do shit to you. This is what I fucking do. All right, this is exactly what I do. But no, Henry, let's do it, brother. You ready?
Well, that's the type
Henry,
of thing. Yes,
you and I are teaming up, and I am looking forward to this. This is great.
Such a good interview. I'm sorry, Henry. Go ahead and finish up, brother.
No, I'm excited to. I don't want to like challenge you because I don't know your tech back. You're scaring me a little bit over there. But when it comes to like creating a protocol that is custom for you, and it's like, well, how can I maximize my dollar amount off of this and do as little work as possible? That's pretty much what I'm talking about. So like, if you wanted to create your own bots, good luck.
No. It's not about bots, man. It's about seeing existing outside the very edges of what is possible. And it's not this. How do I say this right, Bill? Look, it's not about me, man. I'm gonna do well in anything. It really doesn't matter. I've been doing this for 30 years. All right, I understand how to tiptoe through the raindrops. It's the fact that as soon as I find it, I'm gonna put it out to everybody. Meaning any of the people in the podcast that are coming on. So you're not just working against me, man. You're working against everybody that happens to tune into the podcast at any given time, because crypto is mean, dude. Crypto is harsh.
Yeah,
You've been in
absolutely.
crypto, and I'm pretty sure you can agree with me. The fact that this is as dog eat dog and Mad Max as you can get in any trading environment, and I have worked in all of them. Everybody is out to get something from everybody else, man. So my whole point.
I'll just tell you.
Go ahead.
If you want to game your own token, your own white labeled hemp token in your own zone, where your own employees are tapping into your money for their decentralized treasury, if you want to game your own system and inflate your own protocols so that you can't pull out LSX and utilize the rewards that you're earning, then so be it.
No, I don't think you understand me, Henry. What I want is for you to build a goddamn system where that's not possible. That's exactly what I want. Are you building a system where that's not fucking possible? Because if you are, and we get the organic growth that we're going to get through usage, people paying you to use your goddamn software, then I am your greatest fucking advocate. I don't know what Timmy
Absolutely.
says about you, but I'm trying to say that everything that I've been putting out right here is genuine. I want you to be successful, and I want everybody to capitalize on your effort. Not through
Absolutely.
gaming a goddamn system, but because the system is good. Which
It's
way are you
because
guys going to go?
the system, what I'm trying to say with that is the system is ungameable for a few different reasons. One is the psychological approach of, do I destroy my own decentralized treasury and my employees' rewards, or do I destroy the protocol so that I earn less? It's designed with that in mind. So the key use case of using zones while you're earning LSX, you don't want to overinflate the protocol because you won't be able to cash out. That's where we have dynamic minting caps and redemption pools, and that's where Corium smart tokens kind of come in and allow that control for the zone. So if the zone wants to game their own HAMP system, the incentive to do so is actually negative. So that would be kind of,
and I've heard a lot of this stuff, man. All right, I've heard it from mostly the I've heard it from mostly the clowns right now that are sitting there just swirling down to zero because they can't quite understand that if they don't continue to get investors, they cannot be profitable because they're offering magic internet money bullshit. I want to make sure that this isn't. So, brother, I'm not attacking you personally, man. Please don't
no, I don't think
of
so.
that.
I don't think
What I'm doing is trying to give the proper information to anybody who might buy your goddamn token to make sure that that you're not just lining them up to bend them over, man. That's it. Look, we ran wildly long, guys, here. I'm sorry, man. There is entirely too much to unpack here to get it into one show, and we've been almost 90 minutes, man, and we haven't even barely scratched the surface, so we're going to have you back. Henry, please, if you could, sir. I'm being as polite a host as I can be. Take 60 seconds, please. Tell everybody about why it may or may not be in their interest to consider your protocol. We're going to turn it over to Belle. She's going to talk us up, talk us out. Henry, if you could, please go.
Yeah, so the main reason why, if you're an individual and you're not looking for zone solutions for enterprise or business solutions, the main reason why you would want to participate in the outbid campaign and buy LSE tokens or just hold LSE tokens for a long time is to one is just all the traditional cryptocurrency stuff. It's kind of speculation on the tech that we're going to be pushing out, because again, we have a 5-10 year roadmap. Things that we know we want to do and what we need to do to see blockchain get to the level where our zones are one of the key use cases for education and enterprise. So if you want to kind of invest in a traditional company, like how people invest in Jackal for their great deep in technology, we're the same, offering different tech. But on top of that, with our new tokens coming out, you could do a bunch of different things. It has room for growth, scalability, governance, enhancing the ecosystem, or enhancing your own personal portfolio when it comes to participating in arbitrage or shared revenue. So I think that it's definitely something for everybody to enjoy, and not just for zones to benefit from.
All right, Belle, talk us up, get us out of here.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys, and definitely appreciated the questions you asked this evening. Now, we are going to be on tomorrow night with Eric from Astrovault. In between now and we're also going to be on at 9 a.m. Central Standard for our morning live stream.
That's gonna be a shit show.
In between now and tomorrow, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to get those over to Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we cannot thank you guys enough, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you guys.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.